Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Fun Food Fridays because we love playing with our food. And today we have with us the phenomenal Karen Osborne. She is a raw chef and she does so many fantabulous things in the kitchen. I have been chasing this woman for like 2 years to get her to come back and join us on Fun Food Fridays. So I am tickled pink. All righty, Karen. What are we talking about today?
Well, today, so I am a raw food chef, but I also do plant-based cooked food. So I do kind of a fusion.
Mm.
And today we're going to have um, it's really a warm winter roasted vegetable soup.
Mm.
So, and this is so easy and it's going to work even though I was cooking for somebody and I left them in the oven too long. So they're a little bit smaller than they would be when you do it, but it's still going to taste good. Roasted vegetables are so good. Roasting just brings out the flavor and everything.
Well,
So,
Karen, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think yours are going to probably look bigger than mine because I'm constantly forgetting stuff in the oven and on the stove. It's a miracle I haven't burnt down my house yet.
yeah. No, I set the timer because I forget too. I get like distracted doing other things and I set the timer, but they were not quite done. So I said, oh, 10 more minutes. And then 30 minutes later, they look like this, but it's still good. It's still good.
Okay.
All right. So I had to roast the vegetables in advance because this is just a short demo. So
Hmm.
what I did, and it's so easy, I'm gonna lower my screen and I'll show you and talk about what I did. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
Ooh,
So,
pretty.
and I'm only making half of the recipe. So if you're gonna make the whole recipe, you need like 4 cookie sheets or some bigger ones. Um,
Wow.
but what this is um, so the vegetables. I was going to say it's so easy. Like you don't have to stand there and chop everything perfectly. These were very big slices um, or dices. The whole thing was full. Both cookie sheets were full, and this is just because I left them in too long, and a lot of the water came out. But I have cauliflower, and it's half the recipe, so I did half of a cauliflower. And the cauliflower, you want big pieces because what we're going to do, and I'll go ahead and do it. And I use cruciferous vegetables whenever I can. But, and I'll just tell you beforehand, I chop the vegetables, put them on the cookie sheet, parchment paper lined cookie sheet, preheated the oven to 425, and then you want to roast them for about 30 minutes, give or take. You got to check them and make sure. Um, and
Can I
so,
ask a quick question, Karen?
yeah.
You said that you use cruciferous vegetables. Can you tell us what those are and why do you like them so much?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So the cauliflower is cauliflower or kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. All of those are cruciferous, and they um, have like they have a precursor and they have an enzyme that combine when the food is cut or chopped or chewed, like the food is damaged, then those combine and they make sulforaphane, which is a really great
Mm.
antioxidant. It's like
Mm.
cancer protective.
Mm.
It's good for inflammation, the immune system. It's just like the master antioxidant. And if you are going to cook the cruciferous vegetables, you can still make that antioxidant. The enzyme is damaged by the heat, but if you damage your vegetables, like cut them or chop them and let them sit about 40 minutes,
Mm.
then the enzyme and the precursor combine and make that sulforaphane, and the sulforaphane is not damaged by the heat.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, it's a good way
Nice.
to have the benefit of the raw food, but have it cooked. Because some people can't handle the raw if they need to work on their digestion sometimes. But so I just cut these into really large pieces, and then I put Italian seasoning and cumin all over the vegetables, roasted
Yum.
them. And so I wanted to keep these large so it would be real easy to pick them up and just put them in the blender.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to do. So this makes a really nice creamy soup. You can do all kinds of things with cauliflower. And one of the things I like to do is make creamy sauces or creamy soups. So I've got the cauliflower in my blender, and it doesn't have to be a high-speed blender, but this one works. And then I had some cloves of garlic,
Mm-hmm.
and the garlic and onions are in the allium family, and they got a little too done here, but it's still going to work. But you can see I cut that too. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
can see, but it's the same kind of thing with the alliums. You can the garlic, you can damage it, and then a precursor and an enzyme combine and make something very healthy for you. It's like it's good it's cancer protective, and um,
Great for your immune system also,
yeah, your immune
and for
system,
your gut.
antibacterial, antiviral, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, garlic and onions are really good for your gut. So I'm going to just throw the garlic and the cauliflower in there. And since I did this in advance, usually I put it in there and blend it when it's really hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to add any water because it's got steam. So I'm not positive. I might need to add a little bit of water here. But so I put the garlic and the cauliflower in. Then I'm going to take half of these the other roasted vegetables. So I have the onions. I'm going to take half of them. Which I said those are in the allium family.
Mm-hmm.
And they also make things nice and creamy. The
Oh, yeah.
tomatoes, so easy to do because they're just like grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, and you just
Uh-huh.
wash them, throw them on. You don't have to slice them. Just wash them and throw them on the cookie sheet. So I'm going to
Yeah.
take half of
And those
these.
are great with lycopene, great for
Yeah,
heart health. Perfect.
and they also lycopene can also help you like protect your skin from sunburn. It's good for your skin
Oh,
health.
interesting.
So I'm going to take
So if you don't want to look red like a tomato, then you need to eat tomatoes.
yes. And then I've got red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. I'm going to
Ooh,
take
yum, yum.
about half
And
of
those are beautiful with all those phytonutrients. Look at
yeah.
the color and the vibrancy.
And I'm just estimating that I'm taking half of it. And then I've got I've got a zucchini and a yellow squash.
Ooh. Oh,
So
that's going to make it nice and creamy.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Each. And just put them in the blender.
Sounds good.
So the peppers and the zucchini, the squash have like beta carotene and fiber. All these, it's really a fiber filled soup.
Yeah. Oh, this is
And
going to be so good for your gut health. Oh, my goodness.
the fiber keeps you full. It makes you feel full. So it can help you come to an ideal weight because you're not feeling like you need to eat all the time.
Yeah.
And then I have this other bowl here, and I'm just going to put the rest of the vegetables in it. For some
For later.
Well, it's going to be texture in the soup.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're going to leave those whole.
Yeah, and we're going to blend up the rest of it and just put it in on top. So this is so easy.
So is that parchment paper that you're using?
Yes, the parchment paper, so then I don't have to use any oil,
Mhm.
and it makes it easier to clean the pan.
Now remember, ladies and gents, parchment paper, not wax paper, because you don't want wax in your food. So there's a difference between parchment paper and wax paper. So make sure you're getting the parchment paper. I was schooled on this from my daughter, who wanted to make it crystal clear to me that she knew more than I did in the kitchen. So she does.
They're so cute. Alrighty, so then we have our nice colorful.
Oh, yeah. Yum, yum.
Move this out of the way. And I'll bring the blender up here. All right, so actually the recipe calls for water. I forgot about that.
So how much water are we putting in here?
I'm going to put 2 cups of water because it's after the recipe. Can you see that?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Could we substitute something like bone broth?
You could. Bone broth, veggie broth, any kind. So I like to take my scraps when I'm cooking other things and just put them in the freezer. And when I get a whole gallon bag of scraps, I'll make my own veggie broth.
That's an idea.
So I'm just going to put the water in.
I can't just give my scraps to my chickens.
Ah. That's good too.
But now that you've mentioned that, I may have to fight my chickens to get my scraps back.
Ah. That makes them healthy, right?
I know. They do get much healthier with the kitchen scraps.
Should I mute myself while I blend this?
Oh, no. Go ahead. It's going to be quick and easy.
Alrighty.
Okay. Look how fast that went. Oh, yeah. Okay. So remind me, Karen, was that hot water that you used?
No, it was just room temperature. It's filtered water because you don't want to get, I don't want fluoride.
Yeah.
Our water's fluoridated. But if you have a high-speed blender, you can just run it for a couple minutes and it'll actually boil it.
Oh,
okay. If you don't have a high-speed blender, you can put this in, mix it all together, and put it in a pot on the stove.
Okay.
And warm it up. But I don't know if you could see that. Some steam was coming out of here.
Yeah, that's a high-speed blender. That's nice. Yeah, trying to cut down on all the steps, so that's definitely an option.
Yeah. But it's totally easy because really all it is throwing everything on that cookie sheet, seasoning it, and you don't even have to use the same seasonings that I use. You can use whatever you like.
Okay.
And then if it's not, like this is pretty thick, so I might I'm going to add just a little more water.
Okay. And we're going to put the recipe in the show notes. So don't worry about trying to remember everything. The recipe will be in the show notes along with a link to learn more about Karen.
All right, here I'm going to blend it one more time.
Open up. Nice.
So we have
now, you know, my family's from the West Indies, so I would definitely be adding some turmeric or curcumin and some pepper.
Oh yeah, I'm going to put salt and pepper in here afterwards too.
It
smells so good with the spices.
Oh yeah. I wish we were there with you. But now you guys are going to make this for yourselves, and you have to tell us what it was like. So I want you to come back to our video and let us know what it was like when you prepared this meal for yourself and your family.
I've got one more ingredient to put in.
Okay.
And it is, I'm using lima beans, and I cook them from scratch. I mean, just from dry beans. But you can definitely just open a can of beans if you're in
Mm-hmm.
a hurry. And it doesn't even have to be lima beans. It can be garbanzo beans. It can be
Oh, yeah, yeah.
beanie beans, whatever kind of beans you have.
Mm-hmm. So you're adding some more protein and some wonderful more fiber.
Right.
So now, Karen, I know many of our audience are going to say, well, I didn't see her add any oil.
Yeah, that's my thing. No oil. The
No
oil.
oil.
So many. So a can of beans is about a cup and a half of beans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna measure that. All right, and then I'm gonna get a spoon and stir that. But the oil is just for me. It's wasted calories. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
grab a spoon and it just it can block your insulin or block your the insulin receptors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if they get all gummed up, then the insulin doesn't let the sugar out of your bloodstream into the cells where you use it. So
Wow.
there's so many tips and tricks to cooking without oil.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss it.
Oh, wow. Well, that looks so good. Doesn't
It's
it,
very
everyone? Oh, my goodness.
health supportive, cancer protective, good for
Ah,
your gut and your weight, and it's going
and
to keep you full.
and yummy, yummy, yummy for the tummy.
And then I would put some salt and pepper in here
Mm-hmm.
if
And
I
of
could
course,
find
you can
it.
do that to taste because we all have different tolerances for salt and pepper.
Right.
So,
And I
yeah,
don't smell salt or pepper right at the moment, but I'll
that's
do that.
okay. We can figure that part out for ourselves.
I'm
But
sure.
anyway, so ladies and gents, another phenomenal raw fusion recipe with Karen. And
Mm.
we love, love, love you, Karen. Thank you so very much for sharing this with us. And we look forward to seeing you again next month.
Thank you.
Until next time, ladies and gents, be sure to have fun with your food. Bye.